Today I'm driving my Lexus IS250, which I've owned for about a year now, just over a year. I bought it back in March of 2023. And I thought I'd just give you some impressions of what my ownership's been like so far. So reliability wise, Lexus is known for their reliability. I mean, coming from most of the parts are Toyota based, so reliability is usually something that these are renowned for. And I would say for the most part, this has been a very reliable car. I can't complain reliability wise. I've had one minor, so when I bought the car, I noticed the pads needed replacing. So I bought a set of pads only to find that the rear calipers are seized. After doing some research, I discovered that it's quite a common fault. Essentially, the guide pins on the rear calipers get a bunch of grit and dirt in. It's a bit of a design flaw, and the calipers essentially seize together, and it is pretty difficult to get them apart. You're best off essentially, if you can't get them apart, just replacing them essentially, which is a bit of a pain. But at least once you've done that, you know, it's important to stay on top of just greasing the pins every year, every time you do a service, and then supposedly they should be all good. You know, as long as you keep them moving and keep them greased and sealed and all of that, and just checking that, like cleaning them out, making sure there's no grit and water and rubbish that gets in those pins, and then you'll be solid essentially. The other issue I've encountered, which is I think due to the fact that at some point in this car's life it's had an accident, and the near side headlamp, the ballast has gone out, I think, or something along those lines, where I'm finding that the xenon headlight is like flickering. So, you know, if anyone's encountered that, drop a comment down in the comment section, and you know, if you can point me in the right direction, I will be very grateful in terms of resolving this issue. But yeah, all in all, apart from those two things, really, I haven't had any problems. And this car's now on 192,000 miles. So cars will last a very long time if maintained. So it all comes down to the maintenance. So what is it like to drive? What's the sort of driving feel like? It's pretty good. It's not the sportiest of driving feels, I would say. I mean, I'm no racing driver, but it's good. You still get a feel of what the wheels are doing. It's not totally like disconnected from the road. You can still sort of feel what the wheels are doing and everything, and when you're losing grip and all of that. But you know, it's a Lexus, and especially this one. This is like the luxury spec, which is essentially has all the boxes ticked for when this car came out, and all the things you could spec it with. I mean, it's got blinds, it's got xenon headlights, automatic, it's got heated and cooled seats, which are very nice during, you know, all season round. I pretty much have that on constantly. To be honest, more cars should have that. I don't know why we don't get cooled seats in this country as like a standard option on leather seats. So yeah, so for a luxury car, you're not going to be hooning it around bends, really. It's more, that's why I say why it's such a great daily driver. I paid $2.5 grand for this car a year ago when it had about 180,000 miles on it. I haven't really had any problems with it, and you know, everything the car has with it. You know, if you want to come, you know, if you want sort of even half the features this car has, you're looking at spending like 10 grand. So it's pretty hard to beat in terms of value for money. The only downside being that it's a little bit juicy, being a petrol V6, and at the moment I've averaged 34.7 mpg. It is a little bit juicy, but I would say I'm willing to take that hit in terms of economy, because I know that I'm kind of making up for it in terms of reliability. If you decided to go down the route of diesel because you wanted to save some money on petrol, you'd probably end up paying out those sort of gains in terms of putting it in the garage and getting rid of engine codes and all the rest of it, which I think diesel cars are quite notorious for, especially older diesels, is quite notorious for for problems like that. So yeah, but yeah, so overall, I've had a very nice experience with my ownership of this car. It's like I say, it's like driving a sofa is what I tend to say. These seats are so comfortable that you can do a 2-hour journey, 2-3 hour road trip, and you still feel, you know, relaxed and not exhausted. So would I recommend this car to anyone looking for like a good daily? Absolutely. It's, you know, I've had 4 people in this car driving to France and everyone was super comfortable. So yeah, can't really say more than that. It's and you know, carried, the boot's not super massive, I will say that. You can't fold down the rear seats. It's got a ski hatch, but you know, that is maybe a small downside. But then again, you know, if you wanted to really extend the capacity, you could just strap a roof rack on and off you go, kind of thing. So pros and cons, but overall, for what you're getting for the money, I mean, you know, you can pick up these cars now for, like I say, I bought this for 2.5 grand. Between, you know, 2.5 grand to about 5 grand, you know, is sort of the range of these cars at the moment, because they're petrol. A lot of people look at the, you know, how much it's going to cost to run and kind of, I think, are put off by that. But that has been to my benefit, really, because, you know, people have been put off by the MPG and that, but you know, when you do the maths and you kind of work it out, it's actually, you're actually better off in some sense. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video, this little, you know, living with series that I'm doing. Just sort of give you a quick impression of what this car's like, and yeah, and I hope you enjoyed it. So if you want me to carry on making more of these videos, remember to subscribe and like and comment. And like I say, if you know anything about fixing or resolving this xenon headlight issue that I'm currently dealing with at the moment, like I say, I'd be super grateful if you can just drop something in the comments, maybe that might steer me in the right direction, because at the moment I am yeah, a little bit lost. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you next time.